boy, BC Durst. I can't even do that voice. Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome back to the Epyon Royal Podcast, where we speak and we say the entire word like this. It is your boy. It is your boy Timothy James. We are on episode 007.
Golden gun.
It's your boy 00BZ. Back again to my left.
Short and simple. Wait, no, what did I always say?
I don't know.
Short and sweet.
Douglas Peters.
Why you gotta get all weird with it?
To my right, shout out to Grandpa,
AKA hitting the pen again. For the one time.
F Granddad. Today, we're gonna have to let Doug explain the topic. Your boy picked too many topics lately. I'm trying to let everybody else pick more topics. Doug, take it away.
All right, so this topic is funny. Why you guys? As soon as I start talking, you start acting super weird and distract me.
That's why I can't wait to get the video popping.
Listen, we all know. Listen, guys, we all know that I pay attention to the podcast the entire time. I'm never doing anything other than focusing on these conversations.
I'm about to pull up episode 6 right now.
Right.
Whatever you do.
All that extra background noise because of your ass.
All right. I was listening to Doug very closely. Doug, take it away.
All right. Anyways, come on. Why?
This will never be on video, by the way.
It will eventually.
Somebody keeps commenting like, bruh, make a video. Like 2 podcasts later, he's like, put it on video. I'm like, man, I don't know. Might not. We have to get the studio popping first.
Yeah.
We need like the space that looks cool.
Yeah.
That we could have like what is that? The Rode Pro. What is that?
The Procaster.
Yeah, we need that.
Yeah.
When we have that in a good space, we won't even need the computer screen to edit it.
Yeah.
That'll be super official. We'll record then. There's actually new mics. You know the brand HyperX?
Yes.
They sell like gaming headsets. They have a microphone. It's like a condenser mic with these settings built in. And it has like a stand built in. And they're red and black. They're like, I don't know what the price was, but I saw a ton of reviews just came out like this past week. And they're perfect for podcasting. They're called, they're made like for podcasting and for streaming.
Oh, dang. Nice.
Yeah, but they look sick. And they have effects built in and stuff too. But I think that Rodecaster, like, if we could probably use these mics, but something like that would be like official. Have the sound effects. Not that I don't think we'd want to put too many in. Like pre-production, you know, that's always more fun post-production.
But still, at least having the option. But
anyways,
anyways,
back to your topic.
So today, right before we started recording, we were just having random conversations and got on the topic of like our phones. And after like 10 minutes of debating, we were like, why don't we just make this what the podcast is about? So that's kind of what we're going to talk about, is just like the technology we have, what we love about it, why we use it, what made us choose it, and stuff like that. Dang, spin them lines. I'm the only one that noticed that around there. No.
What?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're the only one.
I'm legally blind.
So,
I'm a good-o, but I ain't one of them good-os. I'm legally blind. P.O.P. Hold it down. Hold it down. I'm legally blind.
They're like, sir, can we ask you a question? He's like, I'm a female.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
oh my god.
I'm a female. I'm like,
female.
Oh shit.
Oh damn.
All right, Doug. Tell us about your cell phone. You used to have the biggest. First, you had the LG G6,
I had a lot of
and you only had the LG for like less than a year, and then you immediately switched to the iPhone. What about the LG G6, a phone that I also use, like put you off so much?
So actually, no, it didn't put me off at all. That was other than the fact that like I I have a lot of other Apple devices, so it's just kind of that stereotypical, you get sucked into the ecosystem, you just end up using it. But with the LG G6, I actually loved that phone. I switched from my iPhone 6S Plus that I had at that time, just because that was like one of the first phones that really was the start of like the bezel-less wave, like the first consumer like widespread phone that did. There were phones before it, but that was the first phone that like was widespread. There was advertising and marketing done for it very heavily. So like I liked it for that reason. The ergonomics, the design of it looked really, really cool. But the big thing that really made me fall in love with the phone is it was actually kind of what jump started me really getting into photography, which I thought was pretty cool. Like I'd always kind of been into it before then, but that phone has a fully manual camera, which I thought was amazing. Like you can adjust the shutter speed, the ISO, the white balance, like everything like a DSLR can. And it was the first phone that really had like a really nice wide angle lens on it too, which I thought was amazing. It really kind of sparked my creativity, and I wish I didn't delete all of it, but at one point my Instagram was fully loaded with pictures of shoes of the day when I worked at Journeys. I used to post a shoe of the day pic every day, and I'd grab one men's, one women's shoe, and I'd set it on the counter in cool ways. And I still remember there was one time I grabbed 2 New Balance 247s that had just came out, and I had angled it at just the way that the light hit the glass on the display case that I set them on and made it look like they were floating, and it was cool. So like that was the first phone that really sparked that creativity. But like I said, it was just when it comes down to it, if I'm ever gonna own an Android again, I want to Google, because it's the true Android experience. I have nothing against Android. I think Android phones are really, really good nowadays. It's not like it was back when iPhone first came out, where there was a night and day difference. Apple was very ahead, and but over time they've kind of become very similar and very synonymous with each other. It's just kind of it's not like a clear-cut winner anymore. It's just personal preference at that point. And that's kind of why I went back to the iPhone. Is I had been using the iPhone since like the iPhone 4, the first one that came out on Sprint, and I had already kind of been in their ecosystem. I had the iPad. At one point I had an Apple Watch. My main driver computer is a 27-inch iMac. Before that, I had a 17-inch MacBook Pro for like 8 years or something like that. So it's like everything about my entire creative workflow in every field that I messed with creativity, it was already in Apple. And so it just made sense to go back. That I love the user friendliness of it. On top of the fact that like, I don't care who you are, the iPhones, especially nowadays, they just feel so nice. Like they just feel so nice in the hand. Like I'm gonna pull some Flossie Carter here, and that shit feels real good. That's actually part of the reason why up until recently, I never used cases on my phone. Like Tim gives me shit for it all the time.
Case God.
Yeah, I hate cases, because part of the reason why I bought the iPhones is because of like the way that it feels. Like I liked that premium feel, on top of the fact that it was my main device, so I'm using it all the time. I like the way it felt in my hands.
Feel it in the bedroom, man. When you go home at night, feel that cell phone in the house with no case, knowing you got carpet, or you could set it on the desk. But when you're out and about in the real world, don't go out there raw. You gotta put a case on, because you don't want to catch no scratches out here in these streets.
It's all right. My phone's always looked good. Like, even when I dropped it,
you
nobody
always
could tell.
crush your phones.
No, I don't.
You have smashed phones. The G6
What are you
got
talking
smashed.
The G6 got smashed by my cat once. He knocked it
cat?
off. Yeah,
Point
no. So
taken.
my end tables in my room, they have stainless steel legs, right? And they're like curly. They're like kind of like fancy or whatever. And while I was sleeping, my cat always jumped up on one of the tables. I had just bought a wireless charger, set my phone on there to charge for the night, and he jumped up overnight, and it fell off and fell onto those steel legs. Mind you, that was the first phone and the only phone I've broken in 10 years.
See, you still smashed the phone.
I didn't.
I've never smashed a phone.
Well, you always like load them up with cases, but I never use a case,
go.
and still only
Point
one
proven.
phone got broke.
Fernando, do you got a case?
Absolutely.
Point proven.
Well, I got a case now, but I have reasons for that. It's
You
not
have
for
you
protection.
have a nice outer shell, is what you have.
Yeah, that's the other reason why I was able to kind of handle this case. It's just like the iPhone, like the Apple case. I feel like because I had the iPhone 10, the 10s Max, and then I just downgraded back to the 10s because the 10s Max is too big for me. 90% of the time I'm using
I
my.
couldn't handle the size. It was too big.
It's like the phone felt nice, but
It's so big. I can't handle this phone. It's so
Sir,
big.
I'm a female.
oh my god.
It fell on my face. It was heavy.
No, see that actually never happened. No, it's just I use my phone one-handed most of the time. I'm driving, I'm out and about, like I don't use my phone with both hands. So like it's literally like the biggest screen on the market. Like it's even bigger than Tim's phone. It's like a 6.5 inch screen. So it's like while I'm driving and shit like that, trying to reach my hand all the way over to the other end. Yeah, so that was one of the reasons, but another big reason that I downgraded was I kind of had this point when I was like thinking about it, like I'm one of those people, just like a lot of the people I know, that's been like kind of brainwashed into consumerism in a sense. Like I always had to have the biggest and baddest, like the nicest new stuff, and like I became emotionally attached to things, like, and they're just things, they're just electronics and stuff. So I was like, let me purposely get the smaller phone for actual reasons, because like I was for real getting like cramps in my hand because of the way I was holding it while I was driving and trying to like use it to like GPS where I needed to be and shit like that. But downgraded, I got a black phone, which I absolutely hate black phones because every time.
Damn, son, dang.
Right in for
I
the
said
Fernando.
I said
Come on,
phone.
man.
Phone
Right in for
can't
the
even be
Fernando.
black in this mud.
Black phones
Can't even
matter.
have
Black phone.
Can't even have
I like you.
black phone.
But
I got a
dang.
black phone. I got a black phone. That's all that matters.
see, my big thing with it is like, one, the bougie in me likes all like the nice fancy colors. That's why my 10s Max was that gold color. But on top of
That
that,
is a
like
nice color for a
the
phone.
black, like every brand that makes like that, like a black phone nowadays, it's become so popular that most of them look the same. And like I almost feel like when compared to the other colors, they spend more time making the other colors look nice, and they don't care about like how the black one looks. That it almost looks like the cheap version. So like me being the
I see
bougie
what you're
person
saying.
I am, I'm like, no, I want like the dopest looking one, the nicest,
you're
like
saying.
most fancy one, and I feel like a baller when I'm holding it. So when I switched to this phone, I purposely picked the black phone because, like I said, it's usually my least favorite, and I put a case on it so I can purposely try to like hate my phone as much as possible while not wanting to get rid of it, and just kind of desensitize myself to like my technology. And I've even noticed like I most of the time this thing is either in my hand and I'm ignoring it, or like I just like leave it set down for like hours. Like I just don't even touch it. So mission accomplished. But yeah, so I like my Apple devices for those reasons, and that's kind of why I've used them. I've tried other phones. That's just what I like. So Fernando, what about you?
I've always been kind of a loyalist, but you know what I'm saying? I just got my SA Plus right now. And I started off on? I started off on Sprint phones. Nextel, Chirp, the A, you know what I'm saying, the A70, the A80. Those are the best
Samsung
phones.
Rant, I love that phone.
No, none of that. You had to get the Nextels, the Boosts. Those are the best ones. The A70, the A80.
I just went with the cheapest ones.
See those, you know what I'm saying? You could play movies on the phone. You can have internet on that phone. You can put I think you can put like a 25 gig card in that phone.
Oh, and that was like
At the time,
fancy.
at the time,
that was, like, huge.
what?
That was
It
like
was-
huge. So that was like super fancy at that time.
It was insane. So I was always like, all right, Nextel, Sprint phones, and then Androids and no, BlackBerry. Then I had my BlackBerry phase.
BlackBerry was like the very
I had
start
my
of it.
BlackBerry
My mom still
phase.
used Blackberries until she bought a V40 like last year or something like that. The LG. That was like the first phone she's had in like years that wasn't a BlackBerry.
I never had a BlackBerry.
I hate them.
They were amazing. The BlackBerry, okay, there's no way that you could hate a BlackBerry because a BlackBerry is just an iPhone without the technology.
No,
that we have
BlackBerry
now.
straight up felt like PDAs, and it's like there's
Yeah.
a reason PDAs don't exist anymore.
I had a Nokia N-Gage. That was the best phone at that time.
The
I could
one
play
that played
Tony-
video games?
Yeah, I could play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, the PlayStation version, in full 3D graphics when everybody was playing the Game Boy Advance. I could
But
make
your
phone
screen was
calls.
like smaller than the Game Boy
was still
Advance, I
playing
believe.
Pokemon emulators all over the place.
Yeah, it did have kind of a small screen, but at the time it was like 2 inches diagonal, whatever. That
Which
was like considered big.
That was big.
A
at
lot
the
of
time.
phones had like 1 inch by 1 inch screens.
Yeah,
looked
they
like
didn't
the
even have them
phone
that type of technology yet. Enough to play a whole PlayStation game.
And you could play online. So I'd play against other people in Tony Hawk Pro Skater. So, you could play Skate.
Mhm.
I would play Skate on Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 on the N-Gage in school against somebody in like China.
That's crazy.
Dang.
Yeah, it
That's
was
ahead of
fun.
its time.
Dang.
Nobody bought it though, but if you try to find them and collect them, like they're expensive. They're hard to find
Yeah.
because it didn't sell. But I have mine. I
just
never
like
sold
PSP
it
for that
because GameStop wouldn't even take it. So when I was selling all my property early to kind of keep Epyon Royal afloat, like the only reason why I even have that engaged because GameStop was like, "Oh, that's too old. We can't take that." So I was
Right.
like, "Fuck it, I'll keep it."
Right.
But now that I have like a huge game collection again, I'm kind of glad I didn't sell it because I'd have to buy it again.
That's
Yeah,
what's
it'd
up.
be way too
Probably
expensive.
for more money.
Right. But yeah, I had my BlackBerry phase where I was shitting on it with the BlackBerry. But once the trackball went away, then I went away from
What
the
about
BlackBerry.
Sidekick?
They got rid of the trackball.
Yeah, I never had a sidekick.
And then they went to. Then I went to.
Did you
It was
have
like
the
an HTC.
one?
No.
You
No,
know they
was
had
it?
that-
Was it?
the first Android phone was like the T-Mobile G2 or something like that?
I didn't have that. It was called the Evo,
Evo. Oh yeah.
or was it called the?
HTC had a lot of those like
Yeah.
Evo type early Android, the ones that were shitty. And had, like,
Yes.
bushy screens.
Yes. Yeah,
can't-
I had a phone.
I'll find a
The battery got so terrible, it only lasted like about an hour. Like it turned into a house phone at one point. Like it really pretty much.
Had to have it on the cord.
I had to have that boy plugged up everywhere I went. It was terrible. And then I bought an iTouch because I didn't want to get an Apple just yet, an iPhone just yet. Just having keys, like for sure keys, it was just too convenient. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't have to bring the keyboard up or feel like I'm touching the wrong keys. Like that was back when you can really text without looking still.
I still text without looking. I've mastered that shit.
I still
Like,
can't really do
I
that
will
shit.
one hand text while I'm driving and not take my eyes off the road.
Yeah, I cannot do that.
Disclaimer: I ain't telling y'all where I live because you cops ain't getting me.
The police kill me. Gonna tell me to get off my phone. You got an entire laptop right next to your motherfucking steering wheel. While you following me running my place. But you talking about I gotta put my phone up. Boy, stop.
I actually wanted to buy one of those laptops thanks to the class. It's like, man, I gotta buy a laptop for that. It'd be fucking
Need a
dope.
laptop first.
Wouldn't it be cool for like the long road trip?
Oh, dude, it'd be
like,
sick.
yo, you swivel it to your co-captain, like, yo, pull up this video, do this, do that.
Take over the aux cord.
And you could play games, play like Fortnite and stuff.
I would like that for my backseat, but honestly, I just think about worst case scenario, and it's like, oh, we miss him. He was such a great person. And then they find a laptop, and they find that the last thing I was looking up was like Peanut Live 25 on my way to fucking work, and I got into a dumbass accident, and that was the last thing I saw. Like
Some like porno.
you know
or
what I'm saying?
something.
Right? Or some like porno. I just was
They
trying to
always
check
say
out.
that too when people crash because they have like the DVD in the dashboard and I was looking at porno, like the news, or it's like he was looking at pornography.
Yeah.
Like they always say it like that.
That's embarrassing.
There's got to be like some kind of scientific thing that makes people pay attention when you speak in that way. Like, young Edwards III crashed while watching a video driving down I-75 this morning. Turns out he was watching pornography. And then people like clicking it like, oh my God, Edwards. Like Edwards is his first name.
It was never like that when anyone was around me. I did not condone that behavior.
Edward Smith Jones.
I never would thought he would jack off. It's like everybody do like
They're like the security, the cameras above I-75 clocked him going 140 miles an hour. I'm like, dang, he was going 140 miles an hour and watching Pornhub. That's a legend right there. He went out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah, he was bossing up.
It was just his time to go.
It was his time.
That was how it was supposed to go. Like the end of that motorcycle TV show. Was that show called Outlaws?
I don't know.
Dukes of Hazzard? No. Sons of Anarchy.
My man just
At the end, the guy crashes into a semi truck for some reason.
I've never watched that show once.
ever.
Yeah, don't do it.
I can't believe you said Dukes of Hazzard. How you disrespect Duke?
But yes,
close
bottom
enough.
line, Samsung has the greatest phones. There's no debate. We make the best phones. Yes, we do. We make the best phones.
See, Samsung.
iPhone can't talk shit because we make your phone.
No,
Yeah.
that's the screen.
Yeah. There's just the screen
It's
when your
one
phone
part.
is the screen.
Apple made
All of these
Wow.
phones are screens.
Yeah.
They're just screens. What? With little tiny buttons on the side.
Well, let's not talk about like the CPUs in there, all
Yeah,
the processors,
yeah.
like literally everything that makes the phone.
I know that. I get that part. But the part that matters the most, it's like
No,
tires.
not really.
It's like tires on a car. Like
Not
tell me
really.
all that shit all you want to, but if you got a Ferrari on flats, you can't go nowhere.
Well, it's still just like the glass. That's not like the pressure sensitive glass underneath everything. It's literally just the top glass. Like not everything else. I mean, any top glass can go over it and do the same thing.
You need us.
I wouldn't say that.
You need
that's
us.
why right after I think it was the 10s and 10s Max came out,
You need us.
Apple placed an order for 6.6 billion LG phone screens.
Take it back to the old school when Apple was stressing out. And it was like, we got a little help. And then they pulled Bill Gates' picture up on the big screen and everybody was like, and I was like, oh, that shit, some money right there. That's balling. Like, yeah, we just gonna go ahead and help y'all out. Y'all, we know y'all the competition and all. We gonna buy y'all to still bury y'all later.
I mean, that didn't happen because nobody uses window phones anymore.
My first smartphone was a window phone. If you don't count the Sidekick or you don't count the N-Gage, which I count smartphones as like having apps, not having programs.
Not program.
When there was an icon and they were called apps, that's a smartphone. But I got the Windows phone because Android was kind of crappy looking. This was back when they had like still like touch resistive screens and like really bad tech. And then iPhones, you needed like the little the AT&T service. It was like $100 a month starting just to use the phone.
Yeah.
The Windows phone, I could keep my original plan, get all the data and stuff, and I liked the way it looked. But like once I actually got it, you couldn't get any of the good apps.
Yeah.
And it ultimately held my business back. I used it for like an entire tour, and I used it like my first year of college. And then when Instagram was available for Android, I had to have a second phone, which was like a Samsung Galaxy S3. And then I used that for like just Instagram. But I wish I would have just kind of started with iPhone. That way I could have got Instagram immediately when it had 100% organic reach. And I wish I would have started it for Epyon Royal like sooner, because the minute Facebook bought it, they crippled the organic reach. And now there's like, you either have to like manipulate the algorithm or like just post incredible content all the time, which like isn't always easy to do.
No.
But yeah, I had a Windows phone. It sucked.
Yeah. You see, like my big gripe with Samsung at least is like, I don't know. I think Samsung just tries too hard sometimes. Like their version of like Android OS is my least favorite. They bloat it up way too much. It's like it ends up lagging way too easily. Like that whole Bixby shit was terrible. Like
Don't be talking about Bixby.
everybody I know that has a Galaxy hates Bixby.
Don't talk about Bixby, man.
I don't
Everybody.
think any of the
Bixby
like,
is like
Siri,
it's like, you know, the little
Google.
bastard little child that you just gotta deal with, because you know, like, I mean, real talk. I use Bixby. Real talk. I use it,
Yeah.
but
I use
it
Google and Siri.
extremely sparingly, because I pretty much put my phone, like, everybody know if you got an Android phone right now with that Bixby bullshit, that I know you sick and tired of swiping left and it's showing up on your phone. You can turn it off. So like I got my phone, you know, it got the dedicated Bixby button.
Yeah.
I got my shit like all the way shut down to where I have to literally long press it for it to even
other
work.
gripe is like that the fact that they have Android that is like has the OS to run the OK Google, and they just didn't let you just change that one button to use Google
or to use anything. Like I should be able to dedicate that button.
Well, I mean, even if they just wanted it to be the AI
want.
assistant, like I love Google's AI assistant. Like I still have a Google Home at my house. Like my TV has Chromecast built in. Like I loved that was one of my favorite things, and one of the reasons why I picked that LG too when I grabbed that is because it was one of the first phones outside of the Pixels that you can use like the Google Assistant, which I absolutely love even to this day. That's another reason why I want a Google Pixel. I still use Siri a lot too though, especially if I'm like in the middle of doing something, and I feel like if you didn't have Bixby, you'd probably use your AI assistant a lot more. But Bixby's is just it. I tried. I gave it an honest effort. I gave it the old college try. I just couldn't deal with it. And like I said, they're the bloatware that they do. That's my only gripe with Samsung. They make dope ass looking phones. Their camera technology is like amazing. I still like iPhone's cameras just a little bit more, even though you have a little less control. I don't feel like I need as much control with them. They just kind of get it.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Go for it.
You said, what does that mean, the old college try?
Give it the old college try.
What does that mean? Explain.
You've never heard that saying?
Can you explain it?
It's like when you gave it like an honest effort, but you gave up.
So like, but didn't you drop out of college?
Yeah, that's the reason. That's what it means.
But you didn't even try all the way. Like
I gave it the college try. I tried it and went, never mind, and passed and just quit.
I'll pay what I owe, but I ain't paying no more. I'm out of here.
That's the old college try. But yeah, no. So like I said, I mean, I give Samsung as much credit as I can. It's just I can't give them as much credit as other people try to. That's just me.
I mean, I'm not even giving it like more credit than it's due. I'm just speaking motherfucking facts. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the fact that I've had my phone for it'll be almost 2 years now.
Let's look at it.
And it doesn't
like the screen.
And it doesn't. It's not lagging.
Let me get a zoom in.
It's smooth. Ooh, I got all these apps that I don't use, but my phone is not slow. A lot of these features that a lot of these newer phones have, they're nice. They're nice and pretty. But my phone can still technically do everything that everyone else's phone does. You just can do it a little better. But it's you name a feature, my phone probably still got it. And that's what I like.
Yours got that, right?
What? It's got facial recognition, unlock it with your but Face ID is like
you got
it's a category in its own.
Yeah.
Like
this
the way that
Face
but see,
ID.
that's what I'm saying.
Well, no.
That's essentially what I'm saying. If I want to literally hold my phone up to my face and it does something, it can do it. Now, it may not necessarily have the newest.
Well, the biggest difference with Apple's actual Face ID is the security behind it, because that was like the big controversy with facial recognition software in general. With the Apple's, what it basically does is they have two parts to it. So it shoots the infrared dots so it can see even in low light, and it basically projects it's some crazy number like 5.6 million dots over your face. And it completely measures the actual depth and shit. But the reason why it's so secure is they don't save that information in the cloud. There's a separate part on the CPU that they dedicate just to saving those ones and zeros. What are you doing? Oh my god.
Nothing. Hey.
Oh my god.
Hey.
Why you gotta
wait till you guys can see the video.
But anyways, so with the facial, so what that does is, when you're running apps that use it the same way that they'd use your fingerprint, so the app basically it opens up, and when it asks for you to do the Face ID, the app doesn't get that information at all. So I set up my bank account to where I just do the Face ID to log in, but my bank account doesn't, that company does not get that information at all. What it basically does is it goes to the door of that section of the CPU that saves that, knocks on the door and says, "Hey, is this motherfucker right?" And it just goes, "Hold on a second."
Hey, stop cursing. Kids watch this podcast. Don't act like you haven't heard them cheering.
Oh my god.
We hear them. Wu-Tang for the kids, and so is Epyon Royal.
For the children.
We got Wu-Tang watching and the kids, so we gotta watch our mouths. You know what I'm saying? The wisdom and the Jesus don't go for that.
But anyways, continue. I just needed to educate you on that face face stuff.
Like I said, my phone got that technology. It may not be the newest right now, but there's nothing like just revolutionary new out. Like, oh yeah, my phone cannot do that. It's like, oh, my phone can do that. It may not be the best, but my phone can do that still.
You just mad
2 years
your
ago.
ass is old. That's because you got the old phone. My phone does all that stuff y'all knew.
It do. It does though. I'm saving money because
He really is my
like I
granddaddy.
said, I could easily go right to Sprint and just be like, yo, that S10, send it to the crib. I don't got to put no money on it. I got my upgrade is ready. I got that kind of, you know what I'm saying? I've been with Sprint so long that I could just go right up to them.
Sprint is trash.
T-Mobile or
All
die.
the way.
They got the
I'm
best
telling you,
prices,
hey,
yo.
They got the best prices and the best
Loyal.
overall value.
T-Mobile, please.
My
I've had
loyalty
all
right
four.
now.
I've had Sprint, T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T over the last like 5-6 years. T-Mobile is the only one that I went back to twice.
Man, you're an awful boyfriend. You know that? You cheated twice and went back to T-Mobile twice. T-Mobile, you need to leave this guy. He's no good for you. He's trying everybody else's prices and realizing that you're just the best.
I had a reason. It was while I was moving around. Certain places didn't have T-Mobile towers yet. So I had to get forced into switching other shit. But that was like 3 years ago until T-Mobile decided to spend like a shit ton of money, buy a bunch of tower space, and then was like, fuck it, we're going to buy Sprint.
You know what's funny? I had T-Mobile for a brief second. For like
How long ago?
For like 2
I didn't say how long you had it. I said how long ago did you have it?
Shit.
If it was
When I had my BlackBerry.
then it's too long.
When
You
I had
don't know
my
nothing about
BlackBerry.
T-Mobile
When I
yet
had my BlackBerry
anymore
Curve is when I had T-Mobile.
No.
I'm dying.
Yeah. Man, Tim's on something else.
Tim, man.
He's on another.
This brother, man. We got to get this video popping.
Yeah.
With all this ruffling and stuff.
Even if
People
y'all
be
don't ever
listening
see
like,
this,
what
it
the-
might keep him
What
correct.
is he doing?
I just don't want to edit it.
You don't got to.
Yeah, you do. You got to sync it with the audio.
I'll learn how to do it. Fuck it. I'll learn how to do it.
It takes away from the music.
I'm not trying to look at your ugly ass for like 3 hours, 2-3 hours though. I'm not trying to do that.
I'm the best looking guy in this room.
Shit.
You just mad because your ass is old.
The more we keep singing that, the more that you look like the guy that played Granddad in the music video.
He did have like a granddad wig on and shit.
I'm gonna like soundbite that anytime you're ever in one of my vlogs. As soon as you come on, I'm gonna like introduce you like a Borderlands character, all comic popping out with your name. I'm just gonna say, "Yo, Granddaddy."
Yo, Granddaddy.
You just mad because your ass is old.
No, we need like a reality show on our YouTube, and then like have like a intro sequence that plays before the episode all the time. And it's like starring Granddad. It's like everyone has like their theme song. It has like they're like cutting onions in the kitchen, and they turn to the camera and like smile.
like just total sitcom.
Doug starring as Salt Donut. Doug's got like 2 kids like with button-down shirts, like don't look nothing like them. Like teaching them how to play
Why?
baseball
Right, he's just pouring them cereal.
because it's like a sitcom. They're always like around the house doing house stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
But
so,
like, why do I have 2 kids?
It's just because
Why not?
because
And
It's a part of your
when you got
character.
when
a
you got
father.
a house, you're like teaching them how to like throw a disc golf in the front yard. And then like Fernando is like on his way to his not prison job, but like Fernando is like the cop. He's like the sheriff of the town. He kisses
profiling his hell up.
Damn.
he kisses his wife
Nothing
goodbye.
to do with prison.
No, it's because he has the mustache.
Incarceration.
He's got the mustache, so he like kisses his wife
The
goodbye.
mustache.
And
That's
it's
what
like-
it is.
And Fernando as what's it called? The cop in Urkel.
Oh, Carl Winslow?
Yeah, Winslow.
my God.
Fernando Winslow, and he's like got the mustache.
Fernando Winslow. Harriet!
They cut him with some lamb chop sideburns. And then like I'm in like a painting
Some
class.
mutton chops?
I'm in like a painting
lamb chop sideburn.
I'm in like
You called him a what?
He called them lamb chop sideburns.
That's
They're
why-
called, they're called mutton chops.
I heard them lamb chops.
Yeah, lamb chops.
What?
White people
Yeah.
call 'em mutton chops. We
That's
call
all I ever know.
yeah. Lamb chops got seasoning on them. Mutton sounds like dog food.
They do. Mutton chops.
It's supposed to be a gnarly sounding word. Like
That's-
anybody that has them.
That sound like them little flaps that be on the back of the semi truck.
Life is gnarly enough. We don't need gnarly facial hair. But then I'm like Bob Ross in like a pastel pink turtleneck painting, like something I obviously didn't paint. Like go to the Salvation Army and get like the most ugly like religious painting, like the weirdest ornate like old painting you can find, and it's like I'm pretending like I'm painting it, like I got a paintbrush and shit.
Just a few strokes here.
And I got like I got my hair parted. Hey, I got my hair parted in the middle. Dude, what'd you do, Doug?
His water spilled a little bit.
Why'd you spill his water?
Because it was in front of the.
Why didn't you even look? You're the human. You're supposed
I
to.
was slowly trying to move it
And you spilled it with your foot.
because I was trying to move it out of the way.
What do you need from me then?
I just need to know if I needed to like
No,
do
you-
something to clean it up.
Yeah, get some paper towels. All right, go out by the bathrooms out there,
Okay, that's what
and
I
then
know is
to
where
the
this
left,
was.
to the left of the bathrooms, you'll see a small closet door. Above the sink, you'll see a stack of white napkins. Go to the napkins and grab them. Yeah, watch him not come back with this stuff. This is a whole different type of podcast, everybody.
Yeah, y'all are.
We're kind of giving you, this is like really just behind the scenes life over.
Yeah, this is really what we like. All them podcasts we was doing before. We had it all nice and orchestrated.
Doug spilled water and asked
Like-
me if he had to pick it up. I'm like, yeah, yeah, I think so. It wasn't there before, no, was it? He's like, there's
hey,
water on the
listen,
ground. Hey, he goes,
hey.
there's water on the ground. I'm like, how'd it get there? He's like, well, I moved it with my foot and spilled it. It was over full. I was like, okay, so you spilled the water.
That is not what happened. You wasn't over here, son. Your OCD is on high alert right now. All what happened was he was over here. He was trying to get himself a drink of water.
Water.
He tried to move this
They
field
sprayed
to the
me.
rim. First of all, who fills a doggy bowl to the rim?
Me.
I heard you say
Who does that?
And I heard him do his granddad chuckle right after you said my name, so I know you were talking.
I said,
shit.
they sprayed me with water. Yeah, he found the napkins. Though.
Yeah, he talking shit.
I know he's
Somebody sprayed Doug with water. I went down to the corner.
English, he
Where
knows
the bro?
Spanish, and he knows shit talking.
Yeah, I do shit talking to most.
You know Spanish for real?
Yeah.
Yo, you know it enough to where you can pull some females.
I could read it better than I can speak it, and I could speak it better than I can write it. But yeah, I could speak to girls and stuff.
Bet I'm gonna need
Like,
that. No, I'm not. Shout out my baby girl, Michelle. My
like,
bad.
hey,
I'm
mamacita,
talking
mucho le gusta su culo en mi boca todas las noches.
Is it
Mucho
bad?
gusto su chichis.
Is it bad that every time I hear
Más por
Spanish,
noche,
every time I hear
todos los
Spanish,
días
I
y de
get
las
hungry?
noches con mis amigos. Hold on, let me put
that
the
bad?
headphones on to see how it sounds. Hola, buenos días. ¿Cómo está? Muy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? Sí, de nada. Mucho gusto. Chicas con
Please, somebody in the
Grande.
comments, make sure you,
Critique this motherfucker.
yeah,
Cállate,
correct
pinche
this motherfucker
güeros.
because he's saying
Cállate.
we don't know.
Hey, cállate.
I don't know.
Pinche güeros, cállate.
So, we know what phone I use and why I use it. We know what phone Fernando uses and why he uses it.
SA plus because it's the greatest.
Enlighten the people.
I have 3 phones. I have a OnePlus 6T. I have the LG G6, and then I have an iPhone SE that I haven't really used. But
Oh yeah, I forgot that you had that SE.
yeah, I'll use it eventually.
Yeah.
But I'll get like a.
I remember when
Boost
you finally
mobile
got it
card or
working,
something
you
for
you instantly were like, I don't want to break it. Like yeah, you went like a little bougie with it right away.
Oh, got the case.
Yeah.
Yeah,
with
all my
iPad.
phones gotta have a tempered glass screen protector and a speaking case. Like that's the first thing I do. If I order a phone, that's like the second thing I order. But yeah,
Absolutely, that's what I do with my phones. Like immediately upon buying a phone, even if I don't like any of the cases in the store when I get my phone, I'll still get a case for now and then go and search for the case I really want, because
Cases are for the weak.
man, cases are for the people who don't want to spend replacement money. Because when you spend $270 for the same phone you already got,
Or just don't
just
break
because
it.
that's what I mean though. My clumsiness level, bruh, is
Change.
I
Get
can't-
better.
I'm trying. Hey,
I'm pushing.
I got
Get
training
better.
wheels. These are training wheels because I don't have the space to be making them kind of mistakes.
yeah, I hate buying a new phone. Like the LG, I bought it and I didn't want to replace it because it has a really good camera. Both the pictures and the videos are really good. It has a wide angle lens, but
Yeah.
when we'd be at Eastern Market, I'd be like ringing up a customer
And, it
and
just
then
stopped working.
yeah, like I swipe their credit card and then the phone would turn off. And then
Wow.
it's like, holy shit, like am I gonna get double charged? Did I get charged? Like instead of doing all that, it's like I need a device that has a lot of RAM and has a big screen. This phone has like crazy specs, but the price is really affordable. It was like less than $600, but it has 8 gigs of RAM and like a 6-inch screen, and it's cool. But the video camera on it's good if it's
Very
stable.
saturated. That's what I noticed about the camera on that is I don't really like the color grading.
No,
that
it
camera
changes.
naturally has.
That has a setting on right now where it, depending on what you're shooting, it'll change the level. So if you're shooting food, it'll like make the food more saturated. That's just because I haven't turned it off.
Yeah,
But like
I
the
didn't really
picture,
like a lot of the colors out of there.
like the video and the pictures, like the photos are really good. The video is good if it's stabilized, but it doesn't have optical image stabilization.
Oh,
Whereas the G6
Yeah, I couldn't
on
do
both
that.
lenses has optical. You could run with the phone in your hand and it's
Yeah.
not really going to shake that much.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Like
about
a
the iPhone
GoPro.
too.
Whereas this
The
one,
OIS.
whenever I try to hold the camera and film something, it looks like
It's
I have
like
shaky
jittery.
hands.
Yeah, it has the jitters.
Whereas like my hands are not like really shaky at all.
See,
Is
and
there
I-
like
I have-
isn't there like some software that can like kind of
Well, it's a
balance
software
that
that
out?
will not like if
They-
your phone comes with it.
they
if
have to
build
put it out.
Yeah, so it's something they have to build in with the components. So like,
Oh, yeah,
it's the
okay, I
same
see
thing
what
with
you're
like
saying.
me and my camera lenses. I have one lens that's got image stabilization in it, and 2 of them that don't. There's a reason that I only use one when I'm doing vlogs because that image stabilization. Like I'm a pretty shaky person, and I was diagnosed with a thing called tremors when I was a kid.
What? That's a movie, right?
No, it's an actual.
Isn't that with the worms under the
I
ground?
don't know anything about that, but I know.
And
it's
then like they
it's
can see
a-
the heat, so they spray each other with the fire extinguisher, so they're all cold.
I have
And
no
then they
idea what
walk
you're
through the
talking about.
barn. You never saw that?
No,
It's called Tremors, I think.
no.
It's about worms under the ground.
I have no idea. But no, it's a thing that like
Shout
my
out to
hands are
worms.
like super shaky. I've controlled it over the years from playing guitar, but when I was a kid, they thought I had
Let's see.
diabetes. Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, well, like I said, I controlled it over the years from learning how to play guitar. It's like helped me control it. But yeah, no, when I was a kid, they thought I had diabetes. But anyways,
Diabetes?
Yep. So anyways, that's why I absolutely have to have stuff with the image stabilization. I already have like naturally shaky hands that if I don't, it's like way worse. Like I've tried to use your phone to record clips of you when you've asked me to
Oh,
before,
this one?
and I just can't do it. It's too shaky.
Yeah,
I forgot that didn't have it in there.
But that's why I kept the G6, because like there's no damage or anything on any. It looks brand new, but I kept it just for filming stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like when it gets warm out, as it did today was really warm, but as it keeps getting warmer, I think I'm just gonna get like a shoulder bag, like a fanny pack, and just put like
Just
that.
the essentials like that, the microphone, a charger for it.
Yeah, just so I could always have that video equipment with me.
Yeah.
And whip it out and record shit.
That's
and
a good idea.
I don't have to like sweat it, because the phone is a lot more durable than a DSLR. It takes up less space. And if I bring it like a small bag to put it in with like my wallet and shit,
Yeah.
I'll be like more likely to use it.
Yeah, it's a convenience factor. That's one of the reasons why I'm trying to get a little bit better at recording like videos for specifically with the intent of posting it on YouTube. Like I still have one video I have to post, but it's just I forget about it. When I have the bigger camera, and it's like when I whip it out, my first instinct is to start taking pictures. It's not to like start recording. So I'm trying to like get myself a little better at like being conscious when I'm in a situation that I should be recording, because that even happened today while I was like out in the woods with a couple of my friends, like taking shots of my buddy on the BMX.
You wanna know what I saw that's dope as fuck? Like a hot shoe mount that holds a GoPro.
Yeah.
And then people put the GoPro on top of it.
That's a lot of YouTubers will do that to talk about like I think it was, who was it? Jared Polin had, when the Canon EOS R came out and he got flown out, like he made a whole video about it, and that's what he did. He was like showing like a day in the life of, kind of like how
like
that
a
one,
first person.
Yeah. Like I can't remember the YouTuber's name, but he does all like the day in the life of a new phone or whatever every time he gets a new device.
Average consumer.
Yep, average consumer.
Like a real review.
Yeah. I love his reviews. He does such a good job with those. But that a lot of people were using them for that. A lot of big like YouTubers and like photographers and cinematographers just pop the GoPro on, so you can get like that first person view of like using the camera.
Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, oh, I want to buy it. I want to buy a GoPro, and I want to put it on my DSLR. Then I want to start carrying the DSLR. I was
it's like you just made the thing like 5 times bigger than.
But I was like that when I was a kid. I was like that with like Game Boy Color. Mm-hmm. And a regular Game Boy, like you had the magnifying screen and the battery pack.
I had that.
Or the snake light. Yes. Like being able to make things out of modular pieces to augment it, like that's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Like I saw this guy, he had like a DSLR with a very like super shallow lens, but he had a huge battery grip. And then on top, he had the what's it called? He had a mount with like a microphone, but also it had the GoPro. Yeah. But they were like side by side. And the camera was like
extension.
Yeah, it was like this tall, but the whole thing was like as narrow as like a cereal box.
Dang.
So it was like carrying this like gigantic thing, and it just looked cool. I was like, oh, like I haven't even been paying attention to camera stuff, because to me, if I was like a photographer, like I went to college for photography and whatnot to learn the basics, but I wouldn't say, oh, I'm a photographer, you know.
Gotcha.
But
yeah.
Sorry guys, you
guys don't get to know.
I just gave Doug a really good idea, and I didn't even know I was giving him.
No, but for real, that is a pretty cool idea. I think I might try that when I can.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Did you get a lot of footage from Grant's podcast?
I haven't done that yet. That's on set. Well, you're talking about the one that he came over?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got a lot of really good footage. I already kind of sifted through it, but like I said, I have a very clear kind of vision on what I want to do with some of that footage, and I have also a very clear vision of the sound I want to go with it, and I haven't quite found a song or any kind of audio clip or anything that I feel will fit my vision with that perfectly. So that's actually what I got on the phone with him a little bit before the podcast about, is we're going to kind of be extending my idea on that to include more than just one time of the podcast, and we're also going to incorporate some other stuff with it. And
that's cool.
I'm not going to explain too much, because when it drops, it's going to be really, really cool. We got a bunch of really good ideas for it, so I'm excited about that.
Where are you going to post that?
I'm probably going to post a full length on my YouTube channel, Wanderlost Media. I actually don't have an actual channel handle yet. You got to hit 100 subscribers for that. So everybody that listens to the podcast, just go and subscribe to my YouTube channel so I can make an actual YouTube URL and actually be somebody.
If you like cameras, that's pretty much what he's got popping off over there. So go.
No, all my vlogs aren't really anything.
Well, you got
cameras.
more than that, but cameras like important part of your life right now.
Yeah. Like one of my longest video is a whole kind of it started off as like a daily vlog that all of a sudden I was like, you know what, I'm gonna move this shoot that I had for this product photography up to today instead of waiting 2 days to do it, and like kind of just film the whole process on how I do that. So I mean that was the one that I got the most positive feedback about. But still,
there you go.
Still go and subscribe.
Fernando, where can the people find you at
Illuminando on Instagram, and that's it right now, because I don't check nothing else. I literally have everything else. I got Instagram, I got Facebook, I got Tumblr, I got Snapchat, and I don't check none of them shits.
See, I only use Instagram and YouTube for my actual business and stuff. So my Instagram is Wanderlost Media. It's WNDRLOST Media.
You guys know where to find me. That's why you're here right now. Yep. That's the end of the podcast. It was pretty cool. You know, it was more laid back. We didn't hoot and holler as much. It's kind of late over here. It's about 10 p.m. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm just tired lately. The sun is starting to come out. So, like, my body's starting to, like, the biochemistry is starting to change. My biological clock is like waking up. Like, when the sun gets up and it doesn't... It ain't used to it, man.
Bruh, I'm used to my work schedule, I ain't seen the sunrise in almost a year.
I know
3 damn days.
Bruh.
Yeah, for real. He's looking kind of pale right now.
Bruh, I'm telling you. I'm looking super mirror. I don't even know what the sun like. I'm having to take vitamin D pills.
Yeah. And wear sunscreen.
You know how suspect that sound? I'm taking D pills.
Daily dose of vitamin D.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, well, I gotta take this shit because I can't be in the sun enough.
At least you don't gotta swallow vitamin kids.
Oh,
Oh my God. Oh,
all right, we're done.
That was like one of the worst things you said on the podcast.
And I'm probably gonna cut that out.
We gone.
Yeah, we done.
Salute.
Peace.
Sayonara. Rest in peace. Bloop.
Deuces.
Scrum.
This is the end.
This is the
recording.
song that doesn't end. It never gone end, my friend. You know what that is?
I don't know the rest of the words.
It's a lamb chop.
We are the world.
You don't know lamb chop?
We are the children. Yeah.
That was
I remember
like,
Lamb Chop.
That was like the end song of Lamb Chop.
I remember Lamb Chop. I remember watching that shit and being like to me, watching Lamb Chop was like watching somebody play with a chicken. Because it was like, yo, lamb.
It was weird.
Lamb chops is delicious.
That lady made a fortune off of playing with sock puppets.
Bruh,
I know.
Lamb chops are delicious. She was like,
that was
lamb
a weird
chop. I'm like, yo, why y'all calling the chop? Why you calling the lamb something so delicious? That'd be like if you had a like a TV show about like aquatic animals, and then you call all the shrimp scampi.
Yo, and that
like, why would you do that? That's
all right,
mean
guys,
as fuck.
All right, we keeping all of that in, guys. If you know about lamb chop, RIP to the lady that puts her hand in the butt of lamb chop, man. You made a fortune off of socks, just like Neff did, and just like Stance. You just didn't sell none.
Bye, y'all.
Deuces.